Hey, Yetis, this is Nick and Jack from the Best One Yet podcast. Now, the last company we worked at, they used Paylocity and everything just worked. It wasn't until launching our own media business, this show, that we realized how rare that is.
Because Paylocity is one delicious burrito of operational needs. They roll up HR, finance, and IT seamlessly into one delicious bite.
When everything wraps together like that all at once, your workforce, your tech stack, your business, you don't need more tools. You don't even need cilantro.
You need one solution.
And that is why Paylocity built a single platform to connect HR, finance, and IT with AI-driven insights and automated workflows that simplify the complex and power what's next.
Or as we call it, a delicious operational burrito.
Yes, we do. Experience a one place for all your HCM needs, besties.
So start now at Paylocity.com/one.
Paylocity.com/ONE.
Business is booming, but you know what really helped? Xero, the accounting platform for small businesses. I used to think unpaid bills were just part of it. Ugh. But batch payments? Wow. Automated accounts payable? Even better. All in one place. That's a big one. And I can keep track from my phone while I get the job done. No bills in sight. What a life. Do right by yourself and your business and search Xero for your free trial. Conditions apply.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them. That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Magic. I am your host, Cathy Hackl. This is the podcast where we explore innovation, technology, artificial intelligence, spatial computing, and everything in between. And we hope you came for the tech and stay for the magic. As usual, I am joined by my co-host, Lee Kebler. Lee, how you doing?
I'm good. Just kind of one of those rebound weeks where just the news keeps pouring in, a lot of interesting things happening. I think people are being really hushed about CES coming up in January. Normally around November, you start seeing hints of like CES talk, and I'm like, people seem to be holding their cards really close right now. So I'm not really sure what's happening there.
I think there are going to be some interesting news coming from CES. I've already gotten a few interesting invitations. So we'll see, because I'll be at CES. I'm speaking at Digital Hollywood. So Victor Harwood, thank you for inviting me. I'm on a great panel with some great folks, including Eric. So check out Digital Hollywood, which is a side event for CES. And you don't know this, I'm actually hosting the AI House at CES.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, you didn't know that. So I'm co-hosting with Sandy Carter and Andy Hewells and a whole bunch of different amazing folks, and co-hosting the AI House at CES. It's the first year they do it. The AI House in Davos was a huge success. It was the place to be. I think the AI House at CES is also going to be one of those places to be during the whole event. So check it out. That's also an added kind of event. So if you're going to CES and you want to dive deep into AI, beyond the tech you're going to see on the show floor, check out the AI House. So CES is it's going to be very interesting. I'll be there for almost a whole week. So I'm excited.
That's a long conference.
I normally never stay that long, but I'm coming for quite a bit.
I don't think I've ever known you to go to a conference for more than 48 hours at a time.
If I really love the event, I will stay for a long time. This time, the incentive is I am coming with my boyfriend. So we're having fun in Vegas too. So hey, there's the incentive.
There you go. That
stay
does
for a
make
little
more
longer.
sense. The truth came out.
The truth came out. You know me too well. You're like, why is she staying longer? That makes no sense. It'll be quite fun.
Oh, that's funny. So, okay, I've noticed something this last 2 weeks where at night, I think I'm like most of the world where like you find your show and you like stream it.
Yeah.
And you binge it. And two things have stood out. One, there's not a whole lot of new content coming out recently. Like they're drip feeding new content. And two, I think a lot of the streaming services have really figured out like we need to stop binge watching. And so they're just doing these one episode at a time things, which is starting to make me have to schedule like my TV viewing like it's the 90s all over again. And I hate it. With all of that, the reason I bring this up is I've got two like media news stories and they both focus around Amazon.
Ah, okay. Let's see.
So Freevee, I don't know if you remember Freevee. This was Amazon's approach to like free content,
streaming,
free
free content
streaming.
streaming.
Yeah,
Streaming app.
And you'd have some ads in there, and they were just going towards the old Hulu model. If you think way back,
the old Hulu model. You're right. You're right. Yeah,
they cut it. It's gone.
It's gone. It's dead. Is it dead or is it still watchable?
I mean, it's Amazon, so like they're gonna hold on to stuff and probably move some of their content over. This does actually bring up a really big question for Freevee specific content. The Bosch series, which I'm a personal fan of, moved over to like a spinoff.
Does it go to Amazon Prime? Where does it go?
Oh, we don't know. So they moved, the Bosch series ended, and then it became Bosch Legacy, which is like the spinoff, but it's basically the same thing. And they moved it over to Freevee. So Freevee owned that content. Now there's a big old question of like, where does this content
go?
Which is wild when you think about it, because it's all under Amazon's umbrella. So aren't you just like saying, okay, Freevee didn't work, we're going to move back to Prime? But that's not what they're saying. They're just like actually ending the Freevee service. They're putting it in the ground. And so we will see.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Freevee. You went the way of QB? What was it called?
QB? Yes.
QB, which format is making a comeback.
Yeah,
Talk about rest in peace and get resuscitated in some ways. It's not coming back per se. It's just that like TikTok and a whole bunch of other companies are looking at that shorter format.
Yeah.
Creating content, like really short little things. Even my friend Manny Reese just launched something called mini velas, which are mini telenovelas. That type of concept.
Yeah.
Back
Why not?
again.
Yeah, if you can get it into like 10, 15 minutes and you can make a series out of it and people can watch it on a train ride, or like this morning, I was in the dentist office, bored out of my mind because nothing's happening online at 7 a.m. So there's a market. It seems like there's a market for it. I don't know why QB didn't work out, but I know there does seem to be something in that space. But speaking of comebacks, you and I were both fans of the Fallout series on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we are both elder millennials.
Yeah, geriatric millennials is the negative.
No, I like elder millennials. Don't call me
elder millennials sounds better. I agree with you.
So, big announcement with Fallout. Not only is Fallout, the TV show, coming back, right, for season 2, they're bringing Macaulay Culkin.
Which I was so excited about.
Yeah, this absolutely, IGN was reporting on this, that Macaulay Culkin is evidently part of the second season of Fallout. I will say the one image they have looks very Photoshopped. So at first I thought this was like maybe a meme. It's not edited together well, but it does have Macaulay Culkin in the Fallout uniform.
Yeah.
Like, and he looks like such a bad guy? Question mark? I don't know.
Not. We'll have to see.
I don't know. So that's my media recap of like all the things that seem to be going on.
I mean, okay, first of all, and this is old news, but did you watch the Tyson Logan fight?
No.
Nope,
I didn't. I went to a concert. So I used to follow boxing really heavily, and there was a period of time in my life where I actually worked on music and soundtrack for a documentary for the Manny Pacquiao movie. So I was really involved in like following boxing for a really long time. And I'll be honest, I'm just not like a YouTube influencer person. I don't like that whole ecosystem. So the second that Logan Paul started boxing, I was just
I'm Jake Paul, by the way. Sorry.
Jake Paul.
Logan Paul's brother. But
As soon as Jake Paul started
Tyson Paul. That was the fight.
As soon as that kind of happened, I don't know. I fell out of the scene for boxing. I will say that night I went out to dinner and then I went to a concert, and both were just ghost town empty.
Oh yeah. Everyone was watching the fight.
Because
we're
everyone
trying to watch the fight, even though it was buffering.
Yes. And I wasn't following that. So there was and it was a Friday night. It was like, I'm at a burger spot, a popular burger spot, 8 p.m. Right?
8 p.m.
And it is
8
ghost
p.m.
town.
would have been, it's like around the time for the fight over here.
I am the only person. My wife and I are the only people. And I'm just like, this is apocalyptic. There's no one at 8 p.m. in this burger joint in Portland, Oregon. That's not normal. And
yeah, it was huge.
And it was because of the fight. And that's how I remember.
It was because of the fight, which millions, I mean, I don't even what the number, I can't remember the number right now, but crazy shattered records. I mean, just proving that Netflix can do live sports. They've got the NFL games coming up, and they just signed Beyonce to sing the halftime show for their upcoming NFL or whatever they're doing in football. But yeah, like Netflix is like going all out. It's like Beyonce's doing halftime shows. I'm like, damn, okay, I'm going to have to watch Netflix. I will say this, because you didn't watch the fight, but if you would have watched, the whole ring had tons of ads that said MetaQuest.
I saw
Did you
that.
see that?
Yes, I did see that. That was
like,
exactly what I was
yes.
going
I was
towards.
like, literally, like, I don't know if anyone knows what they're seeing, but I'm like, amazing. So Christmas tree, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Well, it leads a lot of questions into what's Meta's plan for sports when it comes to the headset. Forget about just the advertisement aspect of like the VR headset, getting it on the Christmas tree. November is a great time to put it there.
Yeah.
Like that totally makes sense. I get that 100%. But Meta has historically invested a ton of money in VR live content. This is not new, but you do have to hop in the DeLorean and go all the way back to the Oculus Go. That was when
oh my gosh, remember the Oculus Go?
Of course, I have one right behind me.
I know. It was such, like, to be honest, like now it looks...
Oh, it looks antiquated. Yes.
Antiquated, but it was such a step up from the Samsung VR.
Yeah.
Like what was it called? The one where you put
Samsung
the phone. Yeah, it was
VR.
like, oh my gosh, the Go has everything in the headset.
It was wonderful. It was a great media device. It looked really good. And honestly, for its age, it was incredibly comfortable.
And it was cheap. How much was it?
Oh, it was stupid cheap. Well, we say that it was cheap, right? And it was at the time. But now when you look at the Quest 3S, is comparable to what the Go was at the time, especially if you adjust for inflation. Probably the Go was a little bit more expensive at this point. And the Quest 3S does literally everything. And 5 years from now, we'll be going back and looking at the Quest 3S going, look at this antiquated piece of garbage. But right now, it's amazing. But if you go back to the Go, when Oculus were signing deals with like Next VR, Voke VR, which became part of Intel VR, which is where I came from. They signed deals with the Gotham Comedy Club to get cameras in there so people could go to stand-up nights.
I remember that. Yeah.
Meta / Facebook / Oculus, however far back you want to go, ever since they acquired Oculus in 2013, 2012, or whenever that happened, they've been investing in experimenting with sports and live entertainment in the VR headsets. And seeing Meta Quest around the ring.
Yeah. I was wondering if you could
helpful.
watch the fight. I mean, I guess you could put your headset on and log into Netflix and watch the fight, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not something I tried at that moment. I was just,
Well, so this is a little bit of behind the curtain scene, and maybe me and a handful of other people are the only people who know how this works because I worked on the 2020 Olympics in Japan for virtual reality. And when you get into sports broadcasting, you have what are called broadcasting rights holders, right? So the people who have the rights to broadcast a sporting event in the US might be like NBC, Universal, Comcast, but that's going to be a completely different person in Japan. And it's going to be a completely different person in
Brazil,
England,
in Mexico,
Brazil, right?
And,
and so there's a lot of this stuff that has to take place. So for Meta to get the rights to broadcast a specific event is very tape heavy. There's a lot of red tape to have to cut through.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not possible. It is way more likely that they will strike a deal with a league of some sort and start there. That is actually quite easier to do because they can region out where you'll be able to view this in VR headsets. And yes, you might end up going to Canada, put on the VR headset, and it says your content's not available there because that is a different country, or Mexico, or anywhere in North Americas.
I remember when I worked at Magic Leap, we had a partnership with the NFL. Like Roni, the former CEO, was even on stage with the former commissioner of the NBA. I remember that. So that's interesting. I will say something else since we got to talk about the Meta Quest. Our friends at Targo have done an immersive video series in collaboration with Meta. It's called Baby Animals. And the cuteness is just the cutest thing. I had to share it on LinkedIn because it is just too cute. Like a whole bunch of episodes.
Oh, so it's content. It's video content.
It's content. It's VR content, and it's literally baby animals, like little baby hamsters. There's like episodes. So the baby hamsters are in like the disco, and then there's these puppies playing football, and like there's these kitties like doing this Halloween thing. It's like the secret life of baby animals when we're not looking kind of situation. But the cuteness, like I don't understand. I don't have to tell you. I had to share it on LinkedIn because I said the cuteness level on this VR content needs to be shared. I don't know if anyone's going to watch it, but oh my gosh, it is adorable.
So is it animated or is it documentary style?
Mockumentary because the animals are in like little stages.
But they're real animals. It's not
they're
like
real. They're real
it's not
animals.
animated or anything.
Like puppies, kitties, they're not AI driven. No, these are real. It's the cutest.
I have
thing
to ask.
ever.
You never know anymore.
right? I recommend everyone watch Baby Animals on the Meta Quest S3S, whatever, with Targo. It's just like, if you want to watch something cute and want to chill and not think about what's going on in the world, whatever it is.
True escapism to cuteness.
The true escapism, watch Baby Animals. Like, you will be happy when you take that device off. So kudos to Meta and Targo for Baby Animals. Like, literally, it's the cutest thing ever.
Okay, so I have a weird Meta animal story that happened to me 2 days ago. You know me, I'm not big on social media. I use LinkedIn. I've just started tiptoeing around Instagram, and truthfully, I hate it. I don't like taking video or photo, so it's not for me. And I don't really like video content. It's just not my thing.
I follow your dog.
Yes,
anyway,
my dog is adorable, but my wife does that. I don't do that. Truthfully, I don't really understand how a lot of Instagram works, if I'm being
I love Instagram. It's so fun.
Brutally honest.
It's so fun.
But because I don't really interact with a lot other than posting stuff that I'm doing in like my music career stuff or things about the show, Meta doesn't know anything about me. Like the algorithm hasn't figured it out.
So what ads are you getting?
It changes on the daily, and it's like watching a robot throw spaghetti against the wall. And it is the craziest thing. So I woke up 2 mornings ago, and if you scroll through that like video feed and you get past everyone's update and gives you a little check mark, and then it's just like they throw things at you they think you might like. I am not kidding. Cockatoos for like pages, just birds.
Cockatoos.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what the algorithm thinks you're into.
It was.
Do you like birds? Like, I don't.
No, never looked up birds on Instagram. What? I had no idea. The next day, it was rabbits. Like, it's just trying things.
Baby animals. They hired me to talk about it on the podcast so you would hear it. Now it's going to show up on your baby animals are going to show up on your feed. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a really weird moment where I realized like I'm not giving the algorithm enough data about myself to know what I'm into.
Yeah, cockatoos.
And so it's just like, let's try cockatoos for pages. There's a lot of content about cockatoos on Instagram.
I'm sure. My algorithm is so fine-tuned, like I need to stop myself from shopping because it'll just be like, oh, she's into black leather right now because it's fall. And it's like, boom, I'm like, stop. I do not need more black leather pants. Yeah, it's pretty well fine-tuned for me, I have to say. I do enjoy it. So going back to Amazon, okay, so more news on the Amazon front, which I think are really relevant to a lot of the conversations we've been having. And really relevant, so I'm going to paraphrase this before we go into the news. Back in 2017 or 2016, which seems like a million years ago, tapped me to be an advisor or help them when they were launching their virtual reality driver training program. Early on. This is really early on in the days of VR training, right? And I was one of the people that kind of helped them. I think I was even quoted on a press release. I cannot remember. But it's a long time ago. So just want to say that driver training using immersive devices has been happening for quite a while. And it's a really great use case, right? Because you can practice driving, staying safe, and all sorts of things. So last week, more Amazon news comes. And the news is that Amazon is developing a tool for its drivers to speed up deliveries, which includes smart glasses using GPS devices. So basically, they were able to see where they're going without having to look at other things, allowing them to carry more packages and speed up what they're doing. So very interesting. I mean, it makes sense to me for them to tap into their Echo frames or whatever device they're going to use as smart glasses for Amazon deliveries and those sorts of things. So interesting use. I definitely want to see how these roll out, how they're used, what the drivers are thinking. Because I see an Amazon truck several times a day here in our neighborhood.
Just in my driveway.
Yeah, like literally, we're in the cul-de-sac, so we get to see all the trucks that have to turn around. But what are your thoughts around this use case?
If you look at it from a safety aspect, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
What stuck out to me in the article was that the whole premise is, can we get the delivery person to carry more boxes? Like, that's actually what the article said. It wasn't necessarily about, hey, hands-free driving is really important and giving a heads-up display to give you access to like better GPS and things like that. No, it's actually, I think this is more for on foot once they leave the vehicle to
it's for
the right
that
house. And I had to read the article twice to get that because my first initial response was like, oh, this is going to be like helping people navigate the streets safer or something like that. And it isn't. It is just to get people to your front door, which is a necessity because I've had packages by Amazon wrongfully delivered to the wrong address and then get the awkward phone call from Amazon support saying, hey, that box wasn't for you. It was for your neighbor. I was like, okay, fine, I'll take care of it. That's
or my neighbor calling me, did you get my bathing suit? I'm like, yes, definitely. This is definitely not my bathing suit. My neighbor's a lot older. So it was like this like really old lady bathing suit. I was like, this is definitely not mine. Kudos to them, though. Kudos to them for their bathing suit. Whatever.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I'd like to try it, like when in a new neighborhood or in visiting city and trying to find locations. This is the type of technology that I want to see evolve into the Meta Ray-Bans, or to see evolve into Orion, or maybe eventually Apple will get up and do something. I mean, any of those aspects I think are fully there. And I'd love to see how it compares to the Google Glass from 2014. Because this really was Google Glass concept in 2014. So you're looking at 10 years worth of technology growth. Crazy. What's going to happen? How much better is it going to be? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And I think Reality Labs at Meta just turned 10, I believe.
I don't know.
Something like that. They just celebrated the 10th anniversary, which is crazy. And then what is the game I sent you that just turned 20? It wasn't Call of Duty. It was a different one.
Oh, gosh.
You need to look.
Yes. What was that?
It was another game that just turned 20, and Call of Duty just turned 20 a couple months ago. So I'm like, okay, interesting things. But I do want to make a call out, since we are talking about Meta, by the way, and we're talking to Meta's PR team right now about getting a demo of Orion. I feel like we're such big fans and we're like supporters of this, and I've been like talking about Meta and what Meta's been doing and Orion and how amazing it is. Like, I would love for them to be able to let us have a demo.
West Coast, I can be there today. Like, let's go.
I know, right? Like,
happen.
Jumping on the plane and go to Menlo. I feel like everyone's getting a demo, literally. And I'm like, why haven't we gotten a demo? We're big fans here, but we'll figure it out. We're talking to their PR.
I would love for you to get a demo. Here's my fear. If I got a demo, that I would like it so much, my patience would not allow me to stay calm. And then I would start getting angry that I don't have it. Like, you just have to know yourself a little bit.
Daddy, I want it.
Yeah.
You're like a stubborn little kid.
Yeah. The girl from Willy Wonka with the golden goose. Yeah, like, I want it now. This is me when it comes to this time.
No. You know what? I would be thrilled to get a demo. And then I'm just so impressed that they're actually bending light. Like, just that. I keep going back to that. I'm like, oh my gosh, Suck really did it. Like, amazing. Kudos to them. But hardware-wise, Meta is doing a call for applications for their Project Aria research kits. They're looking for case studies. They want to partner with educational institutions as well as corporations or organizations that are looking for case studies.
Yeah, especially if you're like in a university or something like that. They have a partnership list already posted with the universities they're currently working with. And it's incredibly exciting if you're in that academic space and want to move technology forward. A lot of research, a lot of development. That's as far as the layout goes. But the toolkit looks really cool. The glasses make a whole lot of sense. And I can appreciate their approach to doing this as it being focused on institutions that can actually leverage the research from this, as opposed to let's just put this more towards the brand marketing side of things, which I think most companies would do. And I would actually expect Meta to have done. So to see them take this approach has been such a breath of fresh air from what I'm used to seeing.
It's great. I mean, I already have a couple of friends that are applying that have interesting use cases. So yeah, definitely look at Project Aria's research kit call for applications. So that's definitely one of the things. Let me see what else. The rumors are that Samsung is going to be releasing some type of smart glasses in 2025. That's what we're hearing as well. And then Snap Spectacles launched. They just had a creator summit of some sort. I can't remember. I was looking at
missed this. This is news to me.
Yeah, they launched spatial anchors. I think that's what they call.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
They've been moving forward with the OS for spectacles. They launched spatial anchors. So yeah, I also want to talk about them because I think they're doing really interesting things with spectacles.
MKHBD. I can never get the YouTube. Marcus Brownlee. He did a really great video a couple of weeks ago comparing the Orion glasses from Meta and the specs from Snap, which I've not seen anyone else make that direct comparison. But his take on the Snap glasses, I thought, was incredibly healthy approach to technology of, are these perfect? No, these are a developer kit, but they're being treated as a developer kit.
Yeah.
And the main difference between Orion and the specs is that you can get the Snap specs. Those exist today. And if this is the direction, like, you're not going to be able to be a early dev for Orion, but here's where we start, and all things will change over the next decade. And so he made some really good points on some clever design in those glasses. So where I might not have been immediately excited about them, I think I am now. It's just a different approach. There's room for growth, but if you very much treat it like what it is being a dev kit, there's a lot of technology crammed in those glasses.
Yeah.
Just a ton. And that's exciting.
I agree. And there's always been a lot of rumor about who could buy them, like who could potentially acquire Snap if Snap were up for sale. I mean, Apple would be a smart move. Like that's always been in kind of people have talked about that. But from a smart glasses perspective, I mean, that would be really interesting.
I don't think it'll
happen. And
happen.
that's just hypothetical. I know nothing about this, right?
No,
I don't
yeah,
have any information, but
I don't think that'll happen because Facebook already tried to buy Snap years ago for an exorbitant amount, billions. I think it was like a $4 billion offer that they made, and Snap turned them down, and they've kept going. So I just don't think it's in their legacy to do that. I mean, things can change, but history does say that they didn't sell to Facebook. It would be crazy if they went and actually finally sold to Meta, but that's not going to.
We'll see. Who knows? Shareholder pressure. I mean, I don't know.
I don't think Apple understands the game well enough. I'm being honest.
Well, because it's social. Because it's you mean the social component of Snap?
No.
You mean the technical component? Technicals? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Apple knows what Apple knows. Don't get me wrong. Their new laptops, the M4 chip, I even think what they're doing with Apple Intelligence is absolutely brilliant. The second it goes into glasses, it's just like watching a puppy try to play the piano.
Baby animals on Meta.
Yes. I don't know if they're going to get to the glass. I mean, they'll get there eventually. They've got too much money and they're too big to fail, right? But
of course they're working on smart glasses. Like I'm not even.
They were working on a VR headset and they still put out something that didn't hit. I want to see Apple do better. I really do.
They will. I have faith in Apple and Meta and all these new hardware companies. But anyway, let's go on break. And when we come back, we got to talk more gaming. Lots of interesting things happening over in Roblox. And one of them has to do with puppies. More dogs.
More puppies. Okay.
More baby animals. Anyway, let's go on break.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them. That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This message is brought to you by Warner Brothers Discovery Advertising. And this is more than an ad. This is an invitation to be part of the stories the world can't stop watching, to connect with moments that dominate the conversation, to participate in culture, not just advertise around it. With the most sought-after IP, passionate audiences, and an advanced AI-powered foundation, WBD advertising transforms attention into influence and impressions into outcomes. This is innovation. This is impact. This is opportunity. This is Warner Brothers Discovery Advertising. Visit advertising.wbd.com to learn more.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Business is booming, but you know what really helped? Xero, the accounting platform for small businesses. I used to think unpaid bills were just part of it. Ugh. But batch payments? Wow. Automated accounts payable? Even better. All in one place. That's a big one. And I can keep track from my phone while I get the job done. No bills in sight. What a life. Do right by yourself and your business and search XERO for your free trial. Conditions apply.
All right, so more baby animal news. Purina has raced into Roblox with a game focused on virtual pets. So exciting, focused on Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and it's interesting. And Lily did write a note here. Let's see if Purina does Roblox better than their Atari game in the 1980s. Give us some background, Lee, because you always have all the background.
Yep, back in the DeLorean. Here we go. We're going back to
DeLorean.
about, I'm going to say 1983, maybe 1984. So I would have been like 1. But Atari did get into this point where video games were shuffled. Every brand was putting out an Atari video game for the 2600, and that included Purina Dog Chow. They put out a game called Chase the Chuck Wagon on the Atari 2600, which was a bad Pac-Man clone. And now I've got an extensive Atari collection.
Yeah.
I do that. This is like the
You do
one
not
I
have.
do
you
not
want
have
the
this
one.
one.
Okay.
No, it's not even that. I would definitely take it for the collection. I wouldn't play it, but like collecting is a disease. So yes, I absolutely would if a listener has one. Like, oh, I have one of these in my closet here. But it's actually pretty rare because you had to. It was one of those kind of collect box tops. You'd collect like the UPC from the bags, and you would mail them in, and then you might get it back in the mail. And not everyone who mailed it in actually got it back. So there's not a ton of them out there. But yes, Purina, this might be their at least their second introduction into video games.
Gaming. Well, I'm just excited that they're there. So virtual pets, which seems perfectly aligned to them. And I mean, Adopt Me, which has been one of the top experiences on Roblox. I mean, they've been partnered with McDonald's. Adopt Me has been huge, and it has a lot of virtual pets, which the kids trade and they get new ones and all that stuff. So more Roblox news. Roblox is letting devs personalize thumbnails to attract more players. I think this is actually a really good thing for devs. Other news as well, they're actually opening up offices in DC, in Washington, DC. I'm based here in DC. I'm really excited to see them open an office about 2 blocks away from the White House or so. So interesting to see them come in and be part of the DC tech.
What a time to move into the neighborhood.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to see so much movement here. It's not even funny. Tech, AI, gaming, we're going to see so much. It's an interesting time for sure. Let's see what else. Oh, Shake Shack has partnered with World of Warcraft to celebrate the game's 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that absolutely blew my mind. Yeah, not only World of Warcraft being 20 years old, but Shake Shack coming into the game. It'll be really interesting to see how that plays out, what the user experience is going to look like. How can it be not just like a branded experience, right? And like that's always what you and I have said whenever we work with brands who go into these type of locations is if you're just expecting to take your brand, slap it on a bunch of assets and say, go have fun, kids, it'll never work.
I gotta work. Yeah.
So what will this bring to the table? TBD, we'll see. I'll check it out as soon as it comes out. It'll be something that we look at.
Happy birthday, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and happy birthday,
Years.
World of Warcraft. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. 20 years, right? That's crazy. Call of Duty turned 20 as well. Reality Labs just turned 10. So yeah, we are elder millennials, it seems.
Woof.
We are. Woof, woof. Any other news, Lee, that I might have missed that you want to bring to the table?
You know, I think for the most part, it is going to go back to waiting for CES. I think we got, as the holidays come up, and speaking of holidays, we're going to have some holiday episodes coming in. I don't want to get too far into what we predict in the future because that will be our holiday episodes. As we take a step back, we say, okay, what has happened and where are we going and what's going to change in 2025? So as far as my schedule looks like, that's what I'm thinking. Where are we going to be a year from now? What's going to happen? I will say this, on the music side, we've had a lot of new music technology come out in the last couple of months. One of them being from Teenage Engineering, who was the design team for the Rabbit R1.
For the Rabbit R1. That's so true.
They have gone back to their roots and have started building new music production tools, one of them being something called the OPXY. Really cool piece of kit if you're a music producer, except for... So it basically lets you sequence music and create music. It's about the size of half a tablet. Like if you were to take your iPad and cut it in half, and it's all button based. But the price tag is just absolutely astonishing at $2,300. So shocking price tag. So this is what's going on in the music tech side of things. Other than that, we're all looking into the future.
Well, if we look at the past, I think right around this time, and I might be wrong, but Humane was the talk of the town. I think it was right around this time, sometime in November, when they did that keynote, that revelation, like I don't even know what to call it. It was like a really bad video showing what it was and all that. I think it was around November last year. So
it was about this time.
A year ago, they were the talk of the town. And now, I mean, I follow them on social and I just,
I think we both said it at the time too. The technology is interesting, but you're still competing with your smartphone, right? It has the same technology in it. You're trying to just put it behind a different way to interact with it. And I have to give credit to Humane where it's due. They took some chances. They swung big.
Yeah.
It didn't work, but I like seeing innovation like that where people at least try to do something. This is what I didn't like about the R1. I didn't see anything in the R1 that I thought was particularly innovative. You put a scroll wheel on something and it just feels like an old school BlackBerry. But I will say Humane Pen, building that projector into it, that whole concept that's so futuristic, I can applaud that while admitting, it didn't work.
That was a year ago. So interesting. Okay, so let's go to Dispatch from the Fringe. So Lily's back from vacation. Dispatch from the Fringe this week. So Lily, take it away.
Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bullspend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive-sounding metric I had: impressions.
Cut the bull spend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Business is booming. But you know what really helped? Xero, the accounting platform for small businesses. I used to think unpaid bills were just part of it. Ugh. But batch payments? Wow. Automated accounts payable? Even better. All in one place. That's a big one. And I can keep track from my phone while I get the job done. No bills in sight. What a life. Do right by yourself and your business and search Xero for your free trial. Conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hello, Cathy and Lee. Welcome to this week's Dispatch from the Fringe, brought to you by an MIT Technology Review article about a research project using generative AI to train robotic dogs. So this story stuck out to me because Cathy and I have been talking a lot about spatial computing and what the future of computing is, how it's going to turn into robots and machines trying to understand us humans instead of humans trying to learn how technology works. And I think this story is a good example of that. So some researchers created a generative AI model called Lucid Sim. It's a system that uses generative AI models in conjunction with a physics simulator to develop virtual training grounds to more accurately mirror the physical world. So instead of trying to train robots in more traditional senses like digital simulations or purely in virtual worlds or on real world data taken from recordings from humans, they generated a bunch of AI and then trained the system on all those various prompts. And in doing this, the researchers were able to train a robotic dog, so a 4-legged robot, to essentially scramble over boxes and climb stairs, even though it had never actually seen that real world data. And eventually, they think they'll be able to train robots entirely in virtual worlds. But for now, Ji Yang, a postdoc at MIT's Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, who worked on the project, said, "This is our attempt at understanding the impact of these generative AI models outside of their original intended purposes, with the hope that it will lead us to the next generation of tools and models." So their 4-legged robot was equipped with a webcam and was able to locate a traffic cone, climb over a box, and walk up and down stairs. Their Lucid system uses a combo of generative AI models to create the visual training data. And then those descriptions were fed into a system that maps 3D geometry and physics data onto the AI-generated images. Then they were able to create short videos mapping a trajectory for the robot to follow. And as the robot follows that information, it's able to work out the height, width, and depth of things it navigates, like the stairs in the test. So in 20 trials to locate the cone, The Lucid Sim had 100% success rate versus 70% for systems trained on standard simulations. And it completed all of the 10 stair climbing trials compared with just 50% for the other system. Now, robots, when it comes to this type of system, can be a general term use. It can mean any kind of AI that interacts with the real world. So this opens up a lot of doors for what we could use help with or try and do. The next challenge for these researchers is to create a robotic arm that picks up a pot of coffee and pours it. So robots operating a cafe? Sign me up. And that is this week's Dispatch from the Fringe. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. So, new systems helping train robots to an entirely generated worlds.
Yeah.
It's the future.
Of course, if we can train people in generated worlds, which we've been doing, I mean, that's part of how I think both of us have been doing that professionally for a long time. Why can't you do the same for robots? Sure.
Yeah. So that's from MIT. And then Physical Intelligence, which is a startup that is bringing AI into the physical world, something you and I have talked about extensively on the show, has just raised a couple $1 million. They did really well. So congratulations to that team. I think we're going to continue to see. You know what? I'm going to leave my predictions for our episode on the future. I'm not going to say anything about spatial intelligence in general. I will leave that for our next episode. So yeah, I mean, exciting things. I've got very little travel now, which is great. Ready for Thanksgiving. Are you doing anything fun for Thanksgiving?
We are having a Friendsgiving here. Our house will be open to all of our friends who are in Portland. So we expect a packed house full of friend family and food and great times.
And baby animals.
Well, Beanie will be there. Our puppy
Beanie
will be there for sure.
Your little doggy.
Yeah.
Cutest thing. Amazing. Okay, Lee, so close us out.
All right, before we go, I always want to leave you with a music recommendation. Again, forget your playlists. This goes back into my DJ days and finding music that I'm really appreciating. And it just so happened that 20 years ago, since we're on this 20th anniversary with World of Warcraft and everything else, a rapper by the name of MF Doom released his second album called Food. This was in 2004. It's a hip-hop masterpiece. Super clever, sample-based, a lot of really awesome jazz music packed in there. You almost have to play What's That Song while you're listening to it to figure out where all of the music came from as he made this. Clever lyrics, really amazing wordplay. The beats are as amazing as the inspired theme of the song, which is every song's about food, which is really clever, but it's not about food. It's like food is the analogy for the message that the album's pushing. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a must listen to anyone who loves really.
Well, that's a great thing to listen to during Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly. There's your Thanksgiving hip hop jams for the weekend. If you love intricate lyricism, really great boundary pushing production, check it out. The algorithm's never going to tell you to go check this out. So that's what I'm here to tell you. It's what I'm listening to this week. So go check it out. Enjoy it. Yeah. MF Doom.
Amazing.
Food. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm reading. I just got Gary Marcus's new book, Taming Silicon Valley. Bit of a scorcher there when it comes to Silicon Valley. So I'm going to read that. And then I'm watching the second season of Silo on Apple TV.
I am too. Oh my gosh. At the beginning of the episode when I said I'm really getting irritated that they are drip feeding us content, it's because of that show. You cannot show me the first episode of the second season of Silo.
I was like, yeah, let's watch the second one. I was like,
oh,
wait, we have to wait till November 22nd? Okay.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah, it's back to the 90210 days when you had to, like, was it Tuesdays at 8 p.m.? I can't remember what time.
Oh, yeah. And then they changed the day on you.
Everyone was sitting in front of the TV at that time. So anyway, you got to wait 1 week to see the next episode.
You get used to watching your show on Tuesday at 8, and then they change to Thursday, and you're just like, what? I'm busy
happened?
Thursday.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyways, thanks for tuning in Tech Magic, where we always invite you to come for the tech, stay for the magic. I'm Lee Kebler, here with the incredible Cathy Hackl. Special thanks, as always, to our producer, Lily Snyder, and to Adweek for bringing the show to you. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review and let us know your thoughts. We'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. You can just search Tech Magic, Cathy Hackl, or me, Lee Kebler. We'll be back next week.